Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says he welcomes a trilateral meeting with the U.S. and Russia. U.S. President Donald Trump says he's begun arrangements for the face-to-face session to discuss ending Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Trump announced the plan after Monday's talks with Zelenskyy and the leaders of Britain, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, the European Commission, and NATO. Joining us now from the U of M's Ukrainian-Canadian Studies is Professor Orest Cap. Good morning, Orest.
Good morning, Rachel, and thank you for the invitation to join you this morning.
Well, thank you for joining us. Now, first, let's start off with your reaction to yesterday's meeting at the White House. How do you think it went?
It was a contrast from the one in Alaska. We should mention the one in Alaska was a real circus on a high wire. Something that was hastily arranged, meeting with Putin, which I believe ended in a political suicide and public disaster for U.S. diplomacy. Not only that, but I guess if you remember, Ukrainian president was in the Oval Office, and you contrast that with Putin's reception in Alaska, I guess you have to meet certain criteria to be properly welcome and get the red carpet treatment, such as being a dictator, threaten countries with nuclear bombs, occupy neighbors' territories, kill millions of innocent people, kidnap thousands of children, and be declared an international war criminal. That makes you get the real treatment in Alaska. With regards to the White House in Washington yesterday, I guess the tone, we could say, was warm, and for the audience, it was nice to see at least that the event was streamed live. But you need to keep in mind that right at that time, we saw a Russian peace in action, Russian bombing of the city of Kharkiv, and the destruction of Sumy National University in northern Ukraine. This morning we're talking about Poltava bombing also. If you're really serious about peace and at least take some steps for going in that direction, then that's not the way to approach that process.
Trump did say yesterday that there was a possibility as part of this peace deal that Ukraine would be forced to relinquish some of its land to the Russians. What are your thoughts on that?
We have to keep in mind that it's not just land that is affected. It's not just the borders, but it's the million of Ukrainian lives that are at stake. And I guess Putin, as an example, was unable to take Donetsk, for example, for 12 years. And as we know, the constitution of Ukraine makes it impossible for the president to give up any occupied territories. So I don't see how that is going to progress in the process itself.
So despite all this, do you think that what happened yesterday is a positive move, that it's a sign for potentially a peace deal in the future? I'm always cautiously optimistic when it comes to peace guarantees. We have to approach that trilateral meeting if that's what is organized in Geneva or in Budapest. But one of the main criteria will be security guarantees. And that's really critical. And Ukraine needs reliable, credible security guarantees. And based on the past experiences, we Ukrainians are skeptical about guarantees, especially Russian guarantees, especially if we go back to the Minsk Accords and also the Budapest Memorandum. If you remember, President Bill Clinton requested Ukraine to give up its nuclear arms, cruise missiles, strategic bombers for return of security guarantees. And Russia was a signatory of that memorandum. Orest, thank you.
And nothing happened.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your perspective on this. We appreciate your time today.